Okay, lovelies. By the end of chapter 8, you have been through so much. You have been on quite a journey of healing for real. You have explored forgiveness, defined forgiveness, understood forgiveness, learned how to apologize, learned how to accept or wait to accept an apology, amends making, accountability, all kinds of things. In the last chapter, you ended by actually writing your forgiveness letter, whether it was to apologize, whether it was to ask for an apology, whether it was to forgive someone else or yourself. And now we're going to take a little dive into a cloud, a gray cloud called unforgiving in chapter 9. And that's not to bring us down at all. That's just to be really, really, really realistic about this process. You know, forgiveness really is a journey. And sometimes, like on any other road trip, any other journey, we hit speed bumps, we take detours, we backtrack a little, and you may come to that point on your continuing journey as you go forward. So I just want you to be a little bit prepared by thinking about different times, that you have already gone through, that you might go through. I'm going to share a time of terrible unforgiveness for me, a huge forgiveness relapse that I came to on my own journey, as well as re-forgiveness, when we get to that place again of committing again to the way that we choose to think and feel about the way that we've been hurt or the way that we've hurt others and the ways that we've hurt ourselves. So right off the top, when we talk about unforgiveness, the big question I'll ask is it okay to never forgive? Or is an unforgiver doomed to a short life of bitterness and pain? What if you want to take your forgiveness back? Does that mean you're a horrible person? Most people in forgiveness journeys find themselves on a non-linear path, and the journey requires patience and practice, not perfection, as I think we've talked about before, and as I certainly know. We do come to dark days. So we're going to talk a little bit about those through this. We're going to have some questions and answers that you're going to explore. What about forgiveness scares you? What about unforgiveness scares you? You've already been so brave through this journal. Look, we're at the end. And so I know that you can do this, and I know that you can face those fears. And then I'm going to ask you, what's your legacy going to be? And there's a nice big space to write about that. What is your forgiveness legacy? And then we're finally going to get to chapter 10, which is called Living Forgiveness. The big picture. What's the big picture of all of this? If we can do this in our own personal lives, what does this mean for our world?